Oh, it is Valentine's Day 2012. Love Day! Perfect time for a Hug Nation gathering. Thank you for being here in intention. Whether this is archived or live for you, this vibration is now. So today for Hug Nation, I wanted to discuss love. Seems topical, right? But not so much in the romantic love way. Love in the agape love. You know, there's three types of love that the Greeks spec'd out. There is Phileo, which is the brotherly love you feel towards a comrade. There is eros, which is the romantic or erotic love that you feel towards a partner. And then there's agape. And agape is that divine love, that namaste, that awareness that the other is actually a reflection of you, that you are connected, that what you want for the other is the divine. You are, it is beyond ego, it is beyond desires, it is beyond attachment. It is simply what we aspire to. And so I want to talk about agape love as a way to lead us or guide us. And one of the reasons I bring this up this week is because in the last week I've gotten a little bit of flack, specifically in response to the float more mentality that I put out there. My motto has been love more, fear less, float more, steer less. And people often hear floating or go with the flow as this idea of do nothing or be passive. And it really sometimes irks people to think that I or anyone is encouraging people just to do nothing, because there's so much wrong with the world. And so if I encourage people to see the cone and to focus on what's good, it seems, or it can be heard as an argument to just accept the way the world is. And to a degree, that's exactly what I'm saying. But not really. What I'm saying is that the circumstances of your life do not matter nearly as much as the way you look at them. The actions in your life as well are influenced massively by how you look at them. The same action done from a place of love feels differently and is received differently than the same action done from a place of fear or anger. For many people, anger is what it takes to get you to take action. And so in that situation, I totally understand. Or sometimes it's guilt or feeling like you have too much, and so you feel this strong feeling that it's the way it is not okay, and so you feel driven to take action in the world and try to make the world a better place. That's okay, but try to avoid, if you are in that place, using that anger against people who are taking action in the world from a place of love. There are other ways to take action than from negative, dark places. And that's kind of what I want to say today. I had a conversation yesterday with someone who was sharing that the world is so messed up, they said, that they've absolutely given up on thoughts that there is a God. Because it's just impossible for this much suffering, this much terrible things, this much, there are people with no food and people with food. How could people not make that happen to feed those people? And that's a legitimate question. And I agree. In that sense, I don't believe in God. I don't believe that there is a God that does things. What I believe to be God is the ideal vibration, flow, intention, energy that flows through the universe. And at its highest vibration is love. And so that vibrational flow is what we, as our paths as human beings, work to get more in alignment, more in alignment, more in alignment. And so, and that direction towards alignment is constantly changing as we go through our lives and we get caught up in different dramas. You know, sometimes we're very much in tune with that and we are acting from a very high self. Sometimes we're very not, and that's okay. That's what our journey is about. We're always exactly where we're supposed to be on the path. And so I believe that as you go through your world, you start to notice when you're out of alignment. You know, I can think of examples in my life where I felt like for a long time acting a certain way felt fine. And then I started to become aware, like, oh, you know what? I don't think it's okay to keep using plastic bottles. Now that feels out of alignment. Or I no longer think it's okay to use the word fag as an insult. That no longer resonates. And you slowly get more and more in alignment, and in deeper or more personal ways. You can also move towards that ideal flow from a place of anger, fear, or negative things. Because if you focus on all that's wrong in the world, you can say, we gotta go in this direction. This is horrible. Let's get closer to what we know to be our ideal possible selves as a planet, as a consciousness. So yeah, you can, and for many people that is the way. And so you go, there's so much corruption, there's so much unfair, oh my gosh, come on everybody, this way. And then when you hear somebody who's looking in the direction of the positivity saying, whoa, 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 it's okay, it's actually beautiful. They go, it's almost infuriating to be like, how can you say it's beautiful? It's like, well, because the way it is. And I think whether you're looking at negative or looking towards positive, you both are saying, let's get closer to the ideal. Let's get closer to this divine alignment. My experience has been that if I am looking at the negative and using that as my motivator to take action in the world, I find it incredibly depleting, and I find that I lose the energy, the spark, the joy that is actually my gift to bring to the world. I then am resonating in this level of negativity. I'm enforcing that belief and I'm also bringing myself to that place so that I am now adding to it. This is not everyone's situation. Many people are able to take that motivation and use it to a place to lift and actually make positive change, and that's fantastic. My experience has been that for 2 years I worked for a counselor with emotionally disturbed kids, and I look back, and at the time I was very much feeling like I was fighting the darkness, and it felt good. I felt like I was doing the right thing, but I had nothing left. And after 2 years, I walked away from the profession. I walked away from psychology in general. I was like, I just can't do it. And so over the years, realizing that you can fight darkness or you can spread light, both of those are in the same direction of positive change. And that believing that the world is amazing and perfect and beautiful doesn't mean that you accept it the way it is. It means that as you take action, as you move through the world, you do so towards the love. You have to take action. It is what we are. We are human beings. We act. The only thing if we stop living, we stop acting. We stop moving. We stop influencing the whole. So my experience has been that if I can believe it's amazing and allow myself to be pulled in the direction of even better, more alignment, I feel energized, I feel good, I feel like the action of handing someone a sandwich and saying, hey, could your day be a little brighter? Sweet. Versus the action of taking a sandwich and going, oh, society has let you down and you have nothing. Oh my gosh, you so need a sandwich. In both situations, there's a man who has a sandwich. In one situation, there's this dark vibration around it that brings me down. In the other situation is this lifting that makes me feel good, makes you feel good. And I recognize that this path is not ideal for everybody. And for some people, this might seem, well, I don't know, like irresponsible or justifying, but I'm only speaking from what my truth has been up until this point in my life. And my experience with First Saturdays and the people that have come down and have repeated to come down and have brought their families and have brought their friends to do this homeless outreach, not from a place of, this is wrong, we need to fix it, but of, hey, there's an opportunity in this moment to lift up this situation and bring it towards the alignment that we know to be our potential. So we do the best we can. We align with what we believe to be our heart song as best we can, and clear out the things that get in the way as best we can. Whether you're doing it away from negative or towards positive, I believe you are both brothers and sisters. You are both on the same team. And if you are fighting darkness and it makes you resent those that are spreading light, I have to question if that game plan doesn't need a little bit of reevaluation. Interestingly enough, that whole attitude of finding the light in an act is what I learned from gifting at Burning Man. And that once you start giving and realizing that this act that you've been taught to be one of lack or loss, I'm giving something away and I get nothing in return. Once you start practicing and learning that that's not the situation, it is not a losing, it is actually a lifting, then you start to look for opportunities in the world where you can actually spread light and do good. And you start to look, how can I get myself more in towards alignment by just doing these simple acts or massive acts? I believe that our job is not to focus on the magnitude or the size of the act, but merely the direction that we're heading, and allow the universe to decide if this is a grand or small scale, because we are in no position to judge or tell. My job here today is to show up, to not look at the numbers, to not get too caught up in popularity, and just show up, work towards aligning with what I feel to be that divine flow, and have integrity in the moment. And if people tune in, if you are listening and hearing my voice, well then, hooray, huzzah! I can assume by cosmic divine standards that means the vibration is true. And we are in alignment and we are going towards that alignment. And this recalibration is a benefit to us, the planet, the one, all. If nobody shows up, well, maybe this belief buffet dish was not so appetizing, and we move on and we do our best tomorrow. But since we are here and we are sharing this moment, would you join me in a hug? Wherever you are, grab yourselves by the shoulders. Take a moment to be grateful for this body in whatever state it's in, whatever degree it is receiving sensation. What an amazing opportunity to feel this world. But our physical selves are just our outer shell. And beneath that is our inner shell, our personality, all of the roles and responsibilities and labels that we use to govern ourselves as we play this game of life, gloriously play this game of life. But as we get caught up in that game, we sometimes get too attached to what we should be doing and who is in the way and whose other beliefs might be in opposition to ours, and we get and our shells clack, 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 clack against the shells of some of the other people out there. But when we go beneath that level of who we are to our true selves, the self that is actually totally in alignment with that divine flow, if we could strip away all of our ego stuff, all of the barriers, what is that true light inside of us, that fire, that flame, is pure source, totally in alignment. That is our true self. That is everyone's true self. And let's forgive ourselves when we forget that. And forgive everybody else who gets caught up in their layers and shells. And just for this moment, right in this now, let's feel our true self shining out of us, and everyone shining out of him, and just see the whole planet as this bright light. Take a deep breath and just feel yourself connected to all these other brothers and sisters in this state of purity. May we all allow ourselves to align with that truth. May we all respect and honor all the others as they align. Let us see them as their perfect divine self and help to crack the shells that bind us. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the love warriors, Happy Hug Nation, thank you for being here, feeling this, amplifying this, and being an ambassador to the world with you. You are a gift. It is an honor. Thank you. I love you. Namaste. This is Halcyon, and I would love to stay connected. If you're on Facebook, I would love to be your friend, but I have maxed out on friends. But since almost everything I publish is public, if you want to just subscribe to my feed, it's kind of like we're friends and then we beat the Facebook system. Also, please connect with me on anybeat.com, which is the burner-owned social network that I helped co-found and work at right now. So anybeat.com/Halcyon, come say hello. Facebook.com/JohnStin, or YouTube.com/HalcyonStin. Actually, it's user/HalcyonStin. But if you're watching this video now, you hardly need the URL. You just need to click the YouTube video. It'll go to my page, and wow, technology. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be connected to you in this moment, and I hope we can have more of them. I love you.